Selling nationwide across the US often means collecting and filing sales tax in multiple states. For growing e-commerce businesses, those filing fees, they can quickly become a signature ongoing expense. So what many businesses, they don't realize is that there's a program that can dramatically reduce those costs. And it's called the Streamlined Sales Tax Program, or SST. Now, SST is a multi-state initiative that simplifies sales tax compliance for businesses selling in multiple US states. So instead of navigating different registration processes, tax rules, filing requirements in every state, SST standardizes sales tax management across its 23 full member states, plus Tennessee, which participates as an associate member state. For eligible businesses, this creates a more consistent compliance process and can significantly reduce the cost of sales tax filing. The program, well, it's been around for years, but it's become especially relevant since 2018, when the Wayfair decision meant that online businesses could be required to collect sales tax in states where they have no physical presence. Now, as more e-commerce businesses find themselves filing in 20, 30, or even 40 states, SST offers a way to simplify that process and reduce what you're paying. So in this video, I'll explain how SST works, which states participate, what a certified service provider is, and how the program can save your business money on compliance. Currently, 24 states participate in the SST program. 23 as full members, and Tennessee as an associate member. These states have agreed to standardize key parts of their sales tax systems. Consistent rules around how tax rates are applied, how products are categorized, and how filings are submitted. The full list of SST member states includes Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, Nevada, New Jersey, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Utah, Vermont, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Most SST member states have economic nexus thresholds that begin at around 100,000 in annual sales. So if you're already filing sales tax returns in several of them, there is a good chance that you may qualify for the program. So how does the SST program actually work? How does SST actually simplify things? So the program, it standardizes several key parts of sales tax compliance that are normally different in every state. The first area is registration. So instead of registering separately with each state's tax authority, SST provides a single registration system. So you complete one application and it covers all participating states where you have nexus. You receive an SST ID, a unified identifier that works across the entire program. The second area is tax rules and rates. SST member states agree to apply consistent standards for how products are categorized and how tax rates are determined. So that doesn't mean every state has the same rate. They don't. But the framework follows a shared set of rules, which makes it easier to stay accurate across multiple states. Is filing and remittance. So the program, it supports standardized return preparation and submission through a centralized system. Now, unlike most states, participating SST states help cover the cost of sales tax filing for eligible businesses, making compliance significantly more affordable. And the fourth is compliance monitoring, helping businesses stay aligned with economic nexus thresholds and filing requirements across member states. It's important to understand what SST doesn't do. The program, it provides a framework, but it doesn't include a tax calculation engine. Now, businesses, they are still responsible for calculating the correct tax on every transaction, so tracking their own nexus and managing compliance in non-SST states. Now, SST simplifies the process, but it doesn't fully automate it. Now, that is where certified service providers come into the equation. A certified service provider, or CSP, is a company certified by the Streamlined Sales Tax Governing Board to help eligible businesses onboard into the program. So there are currently 6 certified service providers: TaxCloud, Avalara, Sovos, Avior, Accurate Tax, Exactor, that is acquired by Intuit in 2017, CSPs manage the administrative side of the SST program on your behalf. That's including registration, preparing, and filing returns through the SST system, and then remitting payments to participating SST member states. Now, working with the CSP also means that you won't pay sales tax filing fees or other eligible compliance fees in participating SST states. Now, that is as long as your business qualifies for the program. Now, for example, if a CSP prepares and files your sales tax returns in these states, those services are provided at no cost to your business. Now, this is possible because the participating SST states subsidize the cost of those filing services. So instead of charging your business, the states compensate the CSP directly for handling your sales tax compliance. Now, however, the SST program only applies to participating member states. So if you want to fully automate your sales tax compliance nationwide, you'll likely want to use the same CSP for your non-SST states as well. So this allows you to manage tax calculation, the nexus tracking, filing, the remittance through a single platform instead of using multiple providers. And what makes the CSP model especially valuable is that only a small number of providers have earned certification. So the Streamlined Sales Tax Governing Board has strict requirements for accuracy, security, and performance. So the list of certified providers remains intentionally short. Rather than choosing from hundreds of sales tax vendors, businesses, they can choose from a small group of providers that have been certified to participate in the SST program. So this is the part that gets most businesses' attention. So let's walk through the math, okay? So the biggest savings from the SST program comes from eliminating filing fees. So the more SST states you file in, the greater the savings. Now, here's a simple example. Let's say that your business sells into 12 states. Now, 8 of those are SST member states and then 4 are not. So you're filing monthly in all 12 states. Now, without the SST program, if you're working with a filing provider, you will have to pay and prepare and submit records and returns in all 12 states. So that's 144 paid filings every year. But with the SST program, you only pay for preparing and submitting returns in the 4 non-SST states. So that reduces your paid filings from 144 to just 48 per year. And the exact amount that you'll save, that depends on what your filing provider charges to prepare and to submit each return. And the exact amount you'll save, that depends on what your filing provider charges to prepare and submit each return. So simply multiply that amount by the 96 filings covered by the SST program to estimate your annual savings. And the savings, they continue to grow as your business expands. So the more SST states where you have Nexus, the more filing fees the program covers. Now, in 2025 alone, businesses using TaxCloud as their CSP saved more than $15 million through the SST program. The key thing is to understand is that the savings are ongoing. They're not a one-time discount or a promotional offer. As long as you're working with the CSP and filing in participating SST states, those savings continue month after month, year after year. Now, getting started with SST is more straightforward than most businesses expect. So you have 2 options. Option 1, register yourself and manage everything on your own. You can register through the Streamlined Sales Tax Registration System. This is a single application that covers all participating states. After that, you'll be responsible for calculating sales tax, for preparing returns, for filing on time, and remitting payments. Now, this approach, it can work if you're only filing in a few states, but the administrative burden, that grows quickly as your business continues to expand. Now, option 2, work with a certified service provider. This is the option that most businesses choose. A CSP manages your SST registration, automates tax calculation, and then handles filing and remittance in both SST and non-SST states. So when you work with a CSP, you get both the cost savings of the SST program and then the operational benefits of automation, but you're not just simplifying sales tax compliance, you're removing most of the day-to-day work from your team. And if you're new to the SST program, well, a CSP can even handle the initial registration and account setup on your behalf. If you're evaluating CSPs, there are a few things that are worth considering. Not all certified service providers treat SST the same way. Some enterprise platforms offer SST as part of a larger product suite, but based on what businesses have reported, SST enrollment isn't always actively promoted. Now, in fact, some businesses, they've worked with the CSP for years without being made aware of the savings that is available to them. So that is an important distinction. SST can change the economics of your compliance significantly. So if your provider isn't helping you take advantage of it, well, you may be paying filing fees that you just don't need to. Now, TaxCloud is a certified service provider that is built specifically for growing mid-size e-commerce businesses. Now, SST access is included in all TaxCloud plans. So it's not an add-on or an enterprise-only feature. So if your business is eligible for the SST program, TaxCloud will proactively reach out to help you get onboarded and start receiving the program's benefits. Now, beyond SST, TaxCloud handles sales tax calculation across all U.S. jurisdictions. It automates filing in both SST and non-SST states. It tracks economic nexus. It manages exemption certificates, all from one single platform. The pricing is transparent and it's published directly on the website. There are no hidden fees, there's no modular product bundles, and there's no separate charges for additional integrations. Support, it's US-based and provided by real people. Now, before we wrap up, here are the key things to remember. The Streamlined Sales Tax program standardizes compliance across 24 states and can significantly reduce your filing costs. CSPs handle the compliance work on your behalf and can't charge for filing in SST states. So the savings, they're structural and scale as your business continues to grow. Now, if you're filing in multiple states and you're not currently taking advantage of SST, it is worth evaluating whether a CSP like TaxCloud can help you reduce costs while simplifying your compliance. I've went ahead and I've linked the full SST guide in the description below.